Hey guys, this is Martijn from VMworld TV. I'm standing here with Sean at Dell. I actually forgot what you do these days. What is it that you do?
Oh, that's a tough question. So honestly, I took a role earlier in the year covering cross-cloud services. Now we know it as VMware Cloud Services, which was the set of SaaS services that VMware launched a couple weeks ago at VMworld US. On the go-to-market team, technical product manager, and looking forward to the launch.
All right. So cross-cloud services, that indicates there's a lot of services in there.
Oh yeah.
So which services are in there?
Absolutely. At launch, we have discovery, cost. We have NSX Cloud, which obviously coming from the NSBU, it's important to me. And then more important to that, network insight, VRNI, Verni, whatever people want to call it these days.
Let's keep it at VRNI. Yeah.
Well, okay, good. We don't have to call it Verni. Thank you. And then we also have App Defense, which I think is a very important security feature function that we're providing. And then obviously you saw things like AirWatch, and more importantly, Wavefront, the acquisition we made about six weeks ago. I guess 2 months ago now.
Yeah. So basically a pretty complete set of services. The idea is to obtain these services from VMware and then use it in your data center or with other clouds or what?
That's absolutely correct. And I think here's the beauty of VMware Cloud Services. Each of the services is really purpose-built to treat each of your workloads as a first-class citizen. What we mean by that is VMware. Look, we're VMware, we're going to continue to be VMware, support the hypervisor, NSX, and so on. But then AWS, that is native AWS. And then also Azure, and then eventually Google Compute. So we made the announcement about PKS. Yeah, PKS is a service. So we're doing Kubernetes on Google, on VMware. So this is an exciting time for us.
Right. So basically, VMware is going to be a one-stop shop for all your cloud stuff?
That's true. I think that's the beauty of this. You know, everybody's been talking about VMware on AWS, which I'm a huge fan of, and I think it's important to our customers. But I think the future, and I think as you see some of the things that we're doing with customers, the services we're building and delivering, VMware Cloud Services having the ability to manage, secure, govern your workloads is really what VMware is trying to do.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of networking, of course. I'm part of the NSBU. So I heard you say NSX as a service. What does that actually mean?
All right, so we have NSX Cloud, as we call it. It's based on NSXT, just so everybody understands that, kind of where we're going with it. And NSX Cloud is, provides the capabilities of overlay networking, microsegmentation inside of native AWS. Yes, we're not making any changes to the native AWS VPC networking constructs. We're adding NSX on top of it.
Right. So can you hook that up onto your on-premises data center?
So what you'll see from us, so this is kind of the initial release, what we call initial availability. Later on in the year, we have the NSX Policy Manager, which is something that will come out. That will allow that brokering of the security policies and the posture for our customers, whether it's on-premises or in AWS, and then eventually Azure and so on.
Right. So eventually you get like an NSX instance secure everything that you have. That's right?
That is correct. That
is awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. And customers are starting to truly understand really the technical benefits, but I think it's the business value, the security benefits. Honestly, if you have, me and my coworkers, we have I think 22 VPCs. I can tell you not one of our VPCs in AWS has the same security posture, and NSX provides that ability to truly secure those workloads.
Yeah. So apart from security and networking, insight is also very important. You need to monitor your workloads. You need to check out if there's not something shady going on inside your data center. So I believe Network Insight has something to say about that. Can you go into the details a little bit?
All right. So obviously, that is what I really put my career into a few years ago with Arkin. Yes, I did just say Arkin. And look, Network Insight is a key pillar for VMware's vision, whether we're talking about NSX in the on-premises data center, but we've now done things where we're going out to AWS and we have visibility of communication from workloads in AWS talking on-premises and vice versa. We showed at VMworld US and obviously here this week the ability to use Network Insight to understand your applications and help you migrate that application using Network Insight, using automation from VMware on-premises to VMware on AWS or native AWS, and how about this, maybe even off of native AWS back to VMware on AWS. So yeah, I just did use a bunch of acronyms, but that's really what our customers are looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, we're technicians, so we like acronyms,
yes.
So that's fine. So we've got the insight. We can actually migrate applications from one cloud to another. Network Insight helps you with that. But what about the costing? I mean, Google, Amazon, on-premises data centers all have different business models.
Yep.
How does cross-cloud services or VMware Cloud Services help you with that?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We're actually seeing in organizations not just use EC2 instances or virtual machines. It's the subsequent services on AWS. I've heard customers using Azure for business intelligence or the BI features, and then they use RDS from AWS maybe for their backend databases. So it's becoming an interesting model. And when we look at that, as you mentioned, cost. I personally could care less about cost until we got into it. As our team, we started racking up some AWS bills, and it became a challenge. And so what we've done with cost is provide the visibility, the analysis, how you're doing. Is it cheaper to go VMware on premises? Is it cheaper to go AWS? And then ultimately at the end of the day, provide the trending on top of it. And I'm really excited about what we're doing in the area of cost. And we've got a lot of things planned. And then we look forward to the future with our customers.
Right. So we've got a lot of things planned. Can you go into a little bit? It's a tip of the curtain, please.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing is at VMworld US and obviously here this week, during the keynotes, we've shown a little bit of the future. We talked about PKS, our announcement between Google, Pivotal, and VMware, which is delivering Kubernetes as a service. I'm really excited about that. Seeing where customers take it. I've had several conversations this week about it. The other things that we showed was automation. Now this is a key one, a key use case. Whether you're a fan of VRA, some of the other things that we've done around the automation space, VIO from an OpenStack perspective. The automation service that we showed at VMworld US is it's a simpler, I want to call it a simpler way. It's more of a cloud native automation service. So we're using YAML files. We're going to be doing things in a very simplistic fashion. API first, forget the GUI. We love the GUI, right? But at the same time, we're going to provide those features and functions from an API perspective. So automation, PKS, and then the integrations between the services. And I think that's the key part. These are independent services, whether it's Network Insight, NSX Cloud, Cost, PKS. But the key is because they're delivered as SaaS services, you as a customer or our customers have the ability to have a common services API, bring data from one side to the other. It's really providing a new way of our customers to access their data and truly understand the applications rather than just the infrastructure.
Yeah. So VMware is bringing together the regular admins that we already have, the developers, the business people, basically everything, and just put on a cloud sauce over it, and that's fine.
I like that term, cloud sauce. I might have to use that at some point in time. No, I mean, it really is about, look, I've been with VMware 7 years. We're known as an infrastructure company, but guess what? We had Amazon and Google on the stage at VMworld this year. We made the big announcement with AWS last year. And we need to help not only AWS and Azure and so on, but it's really bringing the VMware infrastructure teams, the network teams, obviously with NSX, but now we're getting the application space. Like Wavefront, looking at application performance metrics and truly understanding what the application looks like, not just what our backend infrastructure looks like.
Yeah. All right, well that clears a lot of things up for me. I want to thank you for your time.
Absolutely, sir.
And always a pleasure talking to you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.